Hi, my name is Kenneth Gideon, and once again, welcome to K-BEST.IT. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a configuration of Dhcp, how to configure Dhcp in Windows Server 2016, and how to create a scope, how to create reservations, and again how to create scope options and server options. Okay, so for not wasting time, we are going to install Dhcp role, create a scope and activate it, show you how to create reservations, show you how to create scope option and server option. Okay, so for not wasting time, let's get to our server and we start configuring things. Okay, so this is our server. You click on start, click on server manager, and here we are going to install the role of Dhcp. So as somebody will ask you, what is Dhcp? Dhcp simply means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. And what Dhcp does for us is that Dhcp provides IP address to clients' machines. It provides temporary IP address to client machine. What does the temporary stand for? If Dhcp provides a client with IP address, it gives the client a lease time. If I talk of lease time, it means a time that Dhcp will take the IP address back from the client. That's the lease time or the lease duration. Okay, so Dhcp gives a client IP address for some times and take it back. Okay, unless the client register the IP address again from Dhcp, else it will take it back. So that's Dhcp. It provides temporary IP address to client's machine. So this configuration can be made on routers, can be made on servers, and even nowadays our mobile phones, they are hotspots. These hotspots have been configured to give IP address. Okay, that's Dhcp for you. So on server 2016, I'm going to show you how to create a configuration of Dhcp server and how to manage it. So let's add the role by clicking manage, add roles and features, click next, select role based or feature based installation, click next, and this is our server. Okay, click next, and what role are we going to add? For here we are going to add Dhcp, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol server. So if you click on Dhcp, it will ask you add role and features. Will ask you add features that are required for Dhcp. Okay, yes, add everything. So you click add features. So this description tells us Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol into bracket Dhcp server enable you to centrally configure, manage and provide temporary IP addresses and related information for client computers. So click next, 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 and click install. So the installation of Dhcp have finished, and again the installation of Dhcp role have finished. Okay, we are going to create a scope and activate it. Click close. Complete DHCP configuration. This configuration, if you install DHCP role for the first time, you must to complete this configuration. So click on it and click commit. You are done. Click close. Okay, and here we are going to create a scope and what, activate it. So what you will do is, how will you launch your DHCP? This is the notification area of Server Manager. Okay, everything Server Manager will notify you that this is happening on your server. And again, you can put it on the event viewer. Okay, so if you want to launch a role, you just click on tool and launch it. So you can click on tool and click on DHCP. So this is our DHCP configuration window, and this is our server, and we can configure DHCP for IPv4 and IPv6. What do you mean by IPv4 and what do you mean by IPv6? IPv4 is an Internet Protocol version 4. I mean the IP address version 4, and we have version 6. The reason for that we have version 6 is that the version 4 is running what, so quick that it will get to a time we will not get IP address for our devices. We will suffer. So because the IPv version 4 is running out in the system so rapidly, that's why they implemented the version 6. And the version 4 is 32-bit IP address, and the version 6 is 128-bit IP address. Okay, and for IP addresses we have private and what, public. If I talk of private and public, they have an IP address which are private IP address, and we have IP address which are public IP address. What are the difference between public and private? The difference here is the private IP address are not routable. If I said not routable, they are not routable means they cannot be routed over the internet. Only private institutions apply them or implement them for their local computers. But the public IP address is routable. To browse the internet, you must to get a public IP address which will help you to connect to the internet. Okay, so that's the difference. And for the IPv version 4, we have it starts from 0 to 126. Okay, 127 is a loopback IP address. You get me right? It's a loopback IP address. And we have class A, class B, and class C. Class D and class E are there. Okay, that's IP address. If you want to know more, just learn IP addresses. So here we are going to configure DHCP to what? To provide IP address for client's machine. So let's click on IPv4 and create a new scope. Okay, so we give the name of our scope DHCP version 4. DHCP, let's take it DHCP class C. Okay, you can give a description of the name of your DHCP. Click next. So what IP address range do we want to give to our clients? We can use class A, class B, and class C. Private IP address to configure. You cannot just use public IP address to configure DHCP in your internal network. So here we are going to use class C. So 192 .168.1.1.1 should start from .1.1 and ends at 192.168.1.254. Why 254? Because 255 is a broadcast what? IP address. Broadcast IP address. Okay. So you have our subnet mask default. Then click next. Add exclusion and delay. So what does exclusion means? Exclusion means we want to exclude an IP address. Now we have 254 IP address that we configure our DHCP, or we've configured our scope to provide to what? Our clients. So within the 1 to 254 IP address, we want to exclude, for let's say 1 to 10 IP address, that DHCP, this IP address, don't give to any clients, because we've been excluded from the IP address we've given you to what? Give to clients. And this excluded IP address can be used for some specific purpose. Okay, it can be that you install a different server and you can take one of these IP address and give it to the server statically. Okay, server are not supposed to get IP address automatic from DHCP. Every server must have to be set static IP address, because if it was to be that it's a print server and DHCP should provide the IP address for the print server, and let's say if the print server DHCP changes the IP address, because it's temporary, it's not permanent. Okay, DHCP can take it and give a different IP address. So if you want to forward a print query to a print server and the IP address has been changed, how are you going to what? Print. That's why we always set servers static what? IP address. So exclusion rate, you want to exclude 192.168.1.1 up to 192.168.1.10. Okay, so this is our that this number 1 to 10 should be excluded, okay, from our IP address that DHCP what leads to the clients. Click next. So this is the least duration that Microsoft have given us. Is default. This one is by default. You get 8 days, but you can change it to whatever days you want, whatever hours and minutes you want to set your duration time. That if this time reach DHCP to what? Take the IP address back. Next. Now we are going to activate our what? You can choose to activate your scope option now, and you can choose to what? Activate it later. We are going to activate it later. So you select no, I will configure these options later. Click next and click finish. Okay, so by clicking finish, this is the scope that we've created. This is the pool of IP address that we've set from 1 to 254. Okay, address range for distribution, and we've excluded 1 to 10. IP address excluded from distribution. So this IP address 1 to 10 have been excluded from the distribution. Okay, and when we click addresses list, DHCP have not given any IP address to a client, so that's why we are not having any information here. And this is our reservation. So what is reservation and exclusion list? Reservation means an IP address have been mapped to what? A specific MAC address of a client. Okay, so if the client is not in, this IP address will not give to any client. Okay, it will be there. So that MAC address, that the IP address have been mapped to is in. So that's reservation. Okay, and this is our scope option. What is scope options? Scope options are additional configuration parameters that a DHCP server can assign to DHCP clients. Okay, so our scope options is what? Some information that we are going to what? Add to our DHCP, so that our DHCP will know our default gateway, will know our what? DNS server, will know a lot of information to give out to clients when DHCP is giving an IP address to what? A client. Additional information. Okay, so let's configure a scope option that this is our router's information. This is the default gateway IP address 192.168.1.1. so this is our router IP address. So DHCP, if you are leasing out IP address to clients, add this router IP address to them, so that they will know this is our default what? Gateway. Okay, and we can add our DNS server IP address, let's say 192.168.1.2, that this is our what? DNS server. Add it to what? A client. Add the information to what? The IP address you want to give to a client. The IP address 192.168.1 is not a valid DNS address. Do you want to still add it? The reason why DNS is saying this is because if you provide the name for DHCP try to resolve it from your DNS, and if DHCP doesn't find any DNS, this is the information that DHCP is going to provide you, because it checks the record. DNS checks the record, and DNS have not see any IP address that we call our DNS what? Oh, DHCP have not get any DNS what? IP a DNS server. That's why it's saying that. But you can add it, so that it will, if you add a DNS server later, it will resolve. Okay, so click add. So scope options give some information that a DHCP server will add to IP address which have been given to what? A client. Okay, you can set policies for DHCP, those who will be connecting through direct access, sitting on their home and be connecting through the what? The network. You can set policies for them, so that if they connect, DHCP will give them what? IP address. You can set policy here, and you can set server option. Server option is the same information that DHCP will add. Okay, you can choose to add your router IP address. And you can choose to add your DNS address. Okay, yes, and you can choose to filter IP addresses. So if you want to filter IP addresses, maybe you set some IP address which has mapped to MAC address, that if you see this MAC address, let it get access to this network. But if you see this what? MAC address, what? Deny it. Don't give it an IP address. Okay, so that's filters. So you can deny IP. You can deny giving IP address to client by what? Looking at their MAC addresses. Okay. Okay. So let's activate our scope now. Right click on scope and what? Activate. So if you refresh, you see that our scope have been what? Activated. Okay. Activated. Yeah. So this is how you are going to configure DHCP. You get me right? But this DHCP is a standalone DHCP. Let's say if you have already created a domain and you are installing a DHCP server, the domain will what? authorize your DHCP server for you default. But if you install DHCP server before you create a domain, unless you authorize your DHCP server before DHCP server can work for you in your domain, if you don't authorize it, Active Directory domain service is going to shut your DHCP down, and your client will not be able to get IP address. So if you install a domain, what domains look at first is that it will see if there is a DHCP server, and if this DHCP server is not authorized, your domain will shut it down. Okay, will shut it down. So this is all you should know about DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which provides temporary IP address to clients. Thank you. My name is Kenneth Gideon from K-BEST.IT. I know you enjoy everything, and continue with us and you'll be wow. Thank you once again. Bye bye. Have a nice day, and try to learn hard, because it's not easy for you to become a system engineer unless you try hard and learn hard. Thank you. Have a nice day.